Alright, shalom, shalom. First, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone of the well. Salutations to the Akim who are teaching the words of sincerity and truth. And blessings to the elect and the 1/3 of Israelites scattered worldwide who are predestined to be saved. Now, so I've got a bit of a chesty kind of cough, but it's just going to be a short lesson. I apologize, I haven't done a video in the last few days. It's just I've not been really on and off, not been really well, you know. So Lord, I'm getting better, but that's one reason. I'll be honest, yesterday and the day before I just slept like a baby, you know. But I digress. So the Lord's work has to be done, and a part of the Lord's work is to warn our people of what's coming. Now, in the UK, here in England, this guy, his name is Russell Brand, right? And he's even been on Hollywood films as well. I remember there was a film, basically with him, on the poster doing the Baphomet. So he's juiced in. But now they've brought allegations that he's been sexually assaulting women in the past, etc. And this guy's actually, you know, his comedy, because he's a comedian, he's made jokes about things like that, you know. So they're putting two and two together and saying this guy's guilty already. All right. But we are not ignorant to Satan's devices. This happened roughly about the same time as the UK Parliament put together and ratified a online bill. I think it's called the Online Harms Bill. All right. And that means to control the internet platforms like Twitter, which is called X now, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. All right. To basically, in the guise of we want to help people, we don't want people to be discriminated against or for people to send misinformation, etc. They're making out like they're doing it for us, but it happened. This happened. This scandal with Russell Brand broke out. All right, and it got everyone's attention. Meanwhile, if people look to the other side, all right, Parliament, they were signing this online harms bill, and it takes away a lot of people's rights. All right, especially online. Okay, now I've got a little video clip here. All right, let's watch it carefully. Okay, I found this quite interesting.
Hello again. When I saw this morning the text of the letters which the chair of the Culture, Media and Sports Committee in Parliament, that is to say Conservative MP Caroline Dinenage, had written to the chief executives of TikTok and Rumble about Russell Brand, I honestly thought that they were spoofs mocked up by somebody who had then circulated them on social media. I thought they were satire, a bizarre joke. Surely an MP who is chair of a parliamentary committee would not have written saying, while we recognise that TikTok is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, and his content may be found within the community guidelines set out by the platform, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. Why on earth should he not profit from his content on TikTok or Rumble? What has it got to do with Parliament if a man who has not been arrested, let alone charged with any offence, earns a living on the internet? In the description of this video, I give a link to the text of these letters, and pretty shocking they are too. I might mention in passing that I'm no fan at all of Russell Brand, but that really has nothing at all to do with the case. The online safety bill has now passed all its stages in Parliament and will soon receive royal assent. When this happens, the government will have huge new powers to take action against social media companies like TikTok, Twitter and YouTube. This letter to the heads of Rumble and TikTok was clearly a warning shot across their bows, just reminding them that unless they start towing the line, then the government will be able to take action against them. What it has to do with the chair of a parliamentary committee who is making money on TikTok, I really cannot imagine. Obviously, this would be of concern if the person were a criminal, or if there was reason to suppose that harassment was being carried out or racial hatred stirred up. But none of this applies to Russell Brand in his videos. The aim is clear. Because social medias will now face ferocious penalties if they do not follow the provisions of the new bill by insisting on users providing identity, proving their age and so on, there will be a bit of a purge on content which might be considered dodgy. That is to say, which might conceivably be seen as likely to spread hatred and so on. No one wants to get in cross-sort with the government if they can. This means that YouTube, Rumble and TikTok are likely to start removing any users soon whom they feel might cause them to get crossways to the government. That is why those letters were sent to TikTok and Rumble. They said, in effect, we don't like Russell Brand. If you don't demonetize him, just see what trouble we're going to make for you when the online safety bill receives royal assent in a few days. We really should all be very worried about this because it's going to have a terribly chilling effect upon all social media platforms. People are no longer going to be able to speak their mind in fear of being removed by the companies just to avoid them getting into trouble with the government.
Beautiful. And everything he said was spot on. Alright? This online harms bill is basically to stop the word going out. Alright? Mainly for us, but obviously other people as well. They want total control. And if you look, I think this is another video where it shows bits of this.
It's distressing to me to see the seriousness of what has happened.
If you think there's no link to what's happening to Russell Brand, let's watch a clip from the YouTube channel The Royal Grift.
Yep.
It's distressing to me to see the seriousness of what has happened to him. I actually have been doing some research around this, and this is going to get nasty. And I think that Russell Brand is the right one to take on what is happening to all of us at this moment online with the constant pressure of censorship.
By now you're probably aware that the British government have asked big tech platforms to censor our online content, and that some online platforms have complied with that request. What you may not know is that this happens in the context of the Online Safety Bill, which is a piece of UK legislation that grants sweeping surveillance and censorship powers, and it's a law that has already been passed.
Now, many of you know about the letters that Caroline Dinah.
She goes on to discuss her views and how she thinks it will affect freedom of speech worldwide.
That's right. Freedom of speech worldwide. Now, where is this in the scriptures? It's in the book of Amos. See, they're going to clamp down on any and everything that doesn't go along with their narrative. That's how much of a pussy devil this guy is, man. Alright? You can do all of that, but the elect is not going to be deceived. The elect are predestined to be saved. And the 1/3 is predestined to be saved. Alright? But that's how desperate he is, you know, to keep his empire going and to also fool the masses of the people. We had it with the scandemic. If you put any kind of view, you know, against the mainstream narrative, boom, take you off, you know? And that's what's going to come. So there's going to be a lack of the word coming out, which is the famine of the word. So just like you have a famine where people can't get, you know, food and they're skinny and emaciated, water, if they don't have water, they get what? Dehydrated. Alright? So if you're in a famine and you're not having food, you starve to death, or you have no water, you'll be dehydrated to death. Okay? So this man wants to stop the word going out. So we haven't got a lot of time. Okay? That's why, no matter the circumstances, and I'm telling you, I've had some circumstances this weekend, we still have to get this word out. Okay? Because the elect needs to be sealed. Alright, let's go to Amos 8, I think it's 11. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land. Alright? Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water. Alright? But of hearing the words of the Lord. So it's going to be a famine of what? But of hearing the words of the Lord. Alright? So that's what's coming. A famine, man. A famine of getting this truth. So we have to get this truth and study as much as we can, and you know, and get all of this nourishment as much as we can. Alright? When a sportsman goes and does a marathon, they prepare themselves. You know, they go through ice bucket, what's it called? Ice bucket baths. You know, they warm up. They got physio. You know, they drink drinks with that has electrolytes. All of this fuel them, and the Heavenly Father's word is fueling us. Okay, because without it, we're spiritually dead. So that's going to come to an end. All right. So the Lord says He's going to send a famine, not a famine of bread, nor thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Now, let's look that up in the Bible Blue Letter. I want to look at the word famine. All right. So it's a serious time that we're in, man. You know, we ain't got time to play games, you know, and argue with you coconuts. Listen, you blacks that are not in this truth, etc. As I said before, you're just dead people walking, and you're dead anyway, man, spiritually. All right. When that famine comes, they're gonna be running to us, you know, when we doing the work. What's going on? What's happening? Yeah, it happened with the apostles. They said when the Twin Towers came down, you know, when they did camp, you know, after the Twin Towers came down, all right, loads of people were around them seeking answers. All right, that's what's going to happen in this time. Okay, so this is Amos 8:1. And it says not a famine. Let's look at the word famine. All right.
Strong's H7458. Ra'av. Ra'av.
So the word is Ra'av. Ra'av. And it means famine, hunger. All right. Famine in land, nation. But this is the big one. Famine of Jehovah's word. Really, it's Yahweh's word. Jehovah's English, you know. So there's going to be a famine of Jehovah's word right there. See? Okay. So that's what's coming, man. So we have to get to work as soon as possible, and keep putting money in our spiritual bank account. The more we read, study, the more we help brothers and sisters who have questions, you know, who come correct. They might put question on the comment board, whatever. We have to do that. It's our reasonable service, you know. And the more we do that, it's like putting credits in our spiritual bank account. All right. When the famine comes of the word, we will have enough word in us to keep us stable. Okay. We'll have enough word, you know. But the ones about people that don't, you know, there's going to be a famine of the word, and a famine. The Lord might make you starve to death in these last days, you know. And He could do that, man. All right. Go and look up the Biafra War. Our people, the Igbos over there in Nigeria, you know, the Biafra War. Many of our people were starving, man. Okay, and they are Israelites, but the Lord did that anyway. Okay, it's called judgment. This is Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right? And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So if you fear the Lord, you obey him. Okay? It's just like when, I was little, I was fearful of my dad. We have to be fearful of the Heavenly Father. So we have to get this truth as much as we can, because the famine of the word is coming. All right? So I leave it at that. I don't make it too long. Give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that rule well. Hey, and blessings to all you brothers and sisters who are seeking YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI with diligence, with what's the word? With sincerity and in truth, because the truth is setting us free. The truth is either bugging you out, like the 2/3, or is setting you free. And that's what the word's doing to us. So let's get this word while we can, man. To the next one, Shalom.